Now, I put this slide up here first because she was talking about bringing us into the 21st century. And I talk a lot about being a dinosaur. And I don't mean that to be ageism or anything about somebody who was an older attorney. My father is 66 years old, has been practicing for 40 years. I've been practicing for 16 years. And he is as up with technology as any lawyer that I have ever seen. Facebook, social media, email discovery. He does large buying and selling of businesses, does everything paperless. And so I wanted to put this up here and say, don't be the dinosaur that says, oh crap, was that today where you missed the arc that's pulling away? So you don't want to be the one that becomes extinct when it comes to technology. Now, I back this up with not just you should do this. If anybody is up on the ABA model rules of professional conduct, professional responsibility, I went right to their website. There is a model rule that has now been passed where they have said that as part of competence of being an attorney, you have to keep pace with relevant technology, or else somebody could possibly come and say that you are not competent to represent your clients. And that was borne out by Susan giving the story about somebody who didn't check somebody's jury Facebook page or social media. So this is where we're headed, to where you can protect yourself by going to seminars like this, by engaging somebody who is a consultant, by looking at websites. You can check out all the other technology that is out there. I was talking to some of the younger attorneys here. They are way up on technology, using iPads. I think she talked about somebody else who has been helping setting up iPads. Okay, so I mean that's fantastic service for everybody, because there are some specific tools that I'm going to talk about how you can use this technology and maintain your competence when we represent clients. Now, what we'll cover today is, I don't want you, yes, sir.
I have a quick question, because I was looking up one of my phone numbers, and that phone number showed up as part of the website. I was able to download the whole list of all the members. It's the members list who had paid.
No, that's because you were logged in. I just asked if maybe we can do questions. You were probably logged in and you were cached into the website. So, but maybe if we could hold off questions, and I'll give you plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere after this, so you can feel free to come up and ask me any questions. And what I was going to say is that you don't have to take notes on this. It's going to be pretty rapid fire. And what I was going to tell everybody in this room, and then also to Wayne County, is I provide free consultation in terms of a consult technology to anybody in Wayne County Criminal Defense Bar Association. So if you have specific questions about anything that I'm talking about, please feel free to come up to me. I've got my cards up here. You can call me. Free consultation on any of the systems that I'm going to demonstrate today. We're going to talk about practice automation tools, which I'm big on, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Paperless office tricks, some tablet and smartphone apps. We have some people who are very proficient in that, but I wanted to mention a few basics if you're just getting into tablets and smartphones and using them for your practice. And then something that nobody wants to talk about, and I see some familiar faces here that I've talked about before, is sales technology tricks or tips. Nobody wants to talk about sales, but we're all here. We have to make a living, and we have to close cases. That's just the bottom line. When somebody calls, we have to close the case. We have to get money in our bank account. That's how we feed our families, and that's how we continue to provide clients our best service. So I wanted to talk to you about the importance of practice automation. As some of you know, for the last 3 years, I've lived in Orlando, Florida, but I still maintain a busy criminal defense practice here in Michigan. I practice all over the state. I do it by using practice automation, cell phones, iPads, other tools that I'm going to show you today, some that I've even developed in the course of doing this to help me to better serve my clients. And before I go into some of these points, this is something great about this organization, is that everything that I heard, all the comments about prosecutors and the legislation, it's all about serving our clients. And this is something, when I speak, I'm on the Technology Advisory Board for ICLE, and I speak at some of the ethics seminars about cloud computing. This is what some of the consultants completely miss. One, because some of them aren't attorneys and they're not in the trenches. Two is because their main focus is larger firm lawyers to how can we bill our clients more money on an hourly basis. Well, that is not what I am here for. I am here to better serve our clients. How do we keep them happier? How do we maintain effective communication? How do we use automation tools so that we can maintain better client relationships? That's the key. And along with that is more free time. I mean, I came in here at 11 o'clock, everybody is just slammed trying to get work done before the noon hour. We're all busy, we want more time with our families, on the beach, whatever else it is, and that's what I'm going to try to give you just a glimpse of that you can do. You need to be up to date on some of the cloud technology, and if for some of you don't know what cloud is, that just means that the software sits in the internet and doesn't sit on a computer such as this. It means it's software as a service. Somebody else is hosting the information. And the big law and big law firm attorneys, which many of us are not, because I know I've talked to some of you, are attacking that like you wouldn't believe, trying to say it's unethical to use this or unethical to use this cloud technology. And what I said to one of them is, do you have drop ceilings in your office, sir? Well, yes, I do. Do you have locks on all of your filing cabinets? No, I don't. I said, you're less secure than me using Dropbox for my client files. Anybody who comes in to clean your office can look at anything that you've left on they can get into your file cabinets. That doesn't mean that you can't just slough it off and not think about security. But I'm telling you to research, look into cloud technology that's available. There's a lot of it out there. The ABA has done a good job. They actually have on their website a PDF that goes through every cloud technology that's out there, and they've listed out the features and benefits of it, so that you can make a decision and try it out. Many of them have free trials, such as the software that I'm going to demonstrate to you today has free trials that you can use them. Clio is the big one that's kind of maintained by the bar associations and is endorsed by them. It's a web-based system. It maintains your calendar, billing. It does a lot of things on the web. In terms of practice automation, I saw some of you printing out stuff and that type of thing. We all know that we're trying to drag in even prosecutors into this century as well. Many have got on the boat. They haven't missed the boat. So they're using e-discovery. They're using, you're able to, more people. They're using that in terms of trying to get you documents. And what I use is I use internet faxing exclusively. And what I mean by that is that I can log into my internet fax. It comes to my email on my cell phone. I can send faxes from anywhere. I can send faxes from a coffee shop, so I can appear in courts. I can send documents. There's very few courts nowadays that will actually not allow you to file your appearances or documents by fax. I talked about email discovery. Cloud document storage is things like Dropbox and others where you can actually store all of your documents in the cloud, meaning that they're not on your server, so that if something happens or you lose your laptop or otherwise, you can simply download the files from Dropbox onto an iPad, your computer, or others. Document assembly, I have a program that we have launched called Auto Retainer, and I'll show you that in a minute, but there's also document assembly programs like Hot Docs that are out there, and yes, they've been typically for estate planning, and you see a lot of the consultants are doing Hot Docs for that. But I think that there's room for criminal defense attorneys who use a lot of the same documents, who use a lot of the same motions, to use a document assembly system like Hot Docs to automate your law practice. FreshBooks is interesting. It's freshbooks.com, and what that is online invoicing, meaning that I've been using that now for 5 years. All of my invoices to my clients go out on an online invoicing system. So I never send a paper invoice to any of my clients ever. If they don't have an email address, I don't represent them. That's just the facts of it. So, I mean, nowadays, if you don't have an email address, you're going to be in some trouble, in my opinion. So, all of my clients agree to accept their invoices through email. They pay online through a debit or credit card so that it immediately hits, and you can even integrate it into your trust account if that's how you do your accounting. But many do fixed fees, and you do them as a non-refundable basis. Google Docs. I think it has a way to go, but you can use this. I've seen other law firms, and I have clients who use Google Drive, Google Documents to run their practice. It can be robust if you know what you're doing. Now, in terms of moving to a more paperless office, and the reason why I think that this is important is that when you're in trial or you're talking to a client, I mean, I no longer bring huge bulky files files into court, I basically bring my iPad and that is it. So I bring my iPad, it has everything loaded, has all of my sentencing guidelines, it has all my police reports, it has my case notes. Whenever I talk to a client, I do all my notes on the iPad so I never lose them, and then I have those backed up to offsite storage as well. And clients seem to like that because they know that everything is one place. You're scrolling through it, you know where everything is, you don't have to shuffle through your file or your notes, and they know that you're using the most updated technology. Now, a couple things that I've talked about seems real basic, but I think there's some ability to scan here, but you really, if you're going to really be serious about being paperless, you should get a sheet-fed scanner. Meaning that you should be able to do multiple pages and scan them in so that you can have them into your system. Now, I use as kind of a way to do it on a quick basis is if I have somebody or a fax machine that I can get to, or I fax it, I use FedEx Office a lot because they're fantastic. You can fax yourself and it'll automatically convert it to a PDF depending on what internet fax system that you use. So that's a quick way to get your documents into a PDF fashion. Again, with the tablets, the document storage on tablets is amazing what you can do now, especially however much memory that you have on your tablet. So I maintain all of my documents on Dropbox. I then have a program called Goodreader that I have a slide on in a minute. What that allows me to do is to maintain all of my documents in one area, have them named, have them in different file folders. I talked to one attorney, I think he was using, what were you using?
PDF Expert.
PDF Expert, okay. So PDF Expert looks like he's here.
No, that's the name of the program.
Exactly, right, but I'm calling you
Oh,
PDF
okay.
Expert as well.
I started out with Goodreader.
You know, a lot of those are good programs where before it was very clunky to maintain your documents on an iPad, but it has become much easier to do with the new apps and the new technology. Client email and text messaging. This is a big one because many of us are so used to having the phone to our ear and talking to all of our clients on the phone nonstop. That is great, but the problem is that clients are becoming more sophisticated, as we know. And the problem that I have found in 16 years of practice in criminal offense is that many times when we're on the phone and we either get in a fight with our clients or something goes wrong or there's miscommunication, there is absolutely no documentation of it whatsoever. Okay, so in my fee agreements, I have all my clients sign that they will communicate with me through email, that they will communicate with me through text messaging, and so I heavily use text messaging. And I get ripped all the time, like Bill's talking about idiotic, the comment about being idiotic. Well, I'm called that all the time for using text messaging. I had one lawyer in one of these ethics say that you should be grieved if you're using text messaging with clients. And I said, well, then go ahead and just file it right now because I represent all kids who are busted for alcohol. That's the only way I can communicate with them. I mean, I can call the kid, they'll let it go to their voicemail, never call me back, but if I text them, you'll be like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Okay, well, I'll text with you then, and we have a long time conversation. It saves it. It is the wave of the future. There's also some programs, like I have one on my iPhone called Private Text. So there are some encryption and some private texting systems that you can bring your clients into so that you can send private and data encrypted text messaging. We all know that e-filing is just a matter of time, in my opinion. Most courts are going to it. You're going to have to know this technology. In federal court, you can't file it by paper. We know that. I mean, you have to know how to convert something to a PDF. You have to know how to e-file. It's coming this way, so we better get on the phone. The fax filing is fantastic for me because I had a client calling an MIP in East Lansing yesterday, closed them on the phone, sent them an auto retainer, which I'll show you in a minute, and he's signing the fee agreement, paying the invoice this morning. I'll have my appearance fax this afternoon to the court, and it'll be done. The whole process within 15 minutes of my time. So this is where we're headed in terms of practice automation. I don't need to meet with them in my office to close them and have them hire me. I don't have to sit down at a laptop and put a Word document together with a fee agreement. I don't have to get an invoice together or get them in the office, get me a check, do this. I have bypassed all of that with a system like Auto Retainer, which I've created over the years, and now have a web app to do it. Off-site backup is huge. If you're going to get into this game, you're going to have some system like Mozy Pro, or you've heard Carbonite, you hear the commercials. These are online backup programs that you can schedule to back up all of your data on a regular basis. There's some things that I'm now getting into. I have a server that I'm renting where I can now log in through I will be able to log in through my iPhone, my iPad, anywhere, and see all of my documents on a virtual server or a virtual terminal. So that all of my documents, I can access them from anywhere, whether it's WordPerfect, whether it's programs that are on my actual hard drive, I'll be able to access them from anywhere. So these are the kinds of paperless office tricks that you need to employ. Tablets, smartphones, we have somebody who's very good at the tablets. I encourage you to use those types of resources. I don't consider myself an expert in tablets. However, I have an iPad, I use iPhone. There's other Android tablets that you can use. However, I think that Goodreader, he uses PDF Expert, but I use Goodreader as my go-to source because it goes so well with Dropbox and other programs where you can pull from Dropbox into Goodreader. And I have found it to be excellent in terms of being able to access all my files in trial. Again, I've already talked about Dropbox. That's the off-site storage where you can store files.
I have a question.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Do you use PCs or Apple?
Well, I use a PC, but all my mobile are iPhone and Apple. So I use a PC like this. My laptop right here is a PC.
Yeah, but these applications, are these for PCs, Apple, or both?
These are for tablets and smartphones. So they're all mobile apps. Okay, they're not for a
Well,
PC.
they'll work with Windows or Apple operating systems.
Correct. I mean, you can log in anywhere from an internet connection and get into Dropbox or these other apps. Okay. I already talked about the secure texting. Docs2Go is one that is fantastic because, as any of you have found, when you're on an iPad or an iPhone, if you have a Word document, you're not able to edit it. And so this Docs2Go actually allows you to bring in Word documents, edit them, save them, and email them. So I use that a lot. If I have to change something in a Word document and send it to somebody, I can do that with my iPad and my iPhone. Skype and GoToMeeting are apps for all smartphones across platforms. And I did a seminar on video, and it's not quite there yet. Okay, video technology, it's getting there. We all know Skype, most of us do. A lot of us have FaceTime on our iPhones where we can actually video chat with somebody. However, I will tell you that it is getting there, and more of my clients want to conduct client meetings through Skype, FaceTime, or other GoToMeetings where you can actually have them face-to-face meetings. That's another way to save of having a client office conference that many times can end up in a waste of time, in my opinion. It can be done better ways. Dragon dictation is something that you can put on your iPhone or your iPad where you can be speaking, and it does a fairly good job of dictating everything. So if you want to get out a quick motion, or you want to start drafting something, or you want to do client notes, Dragon dictation is another one that is good. I am big on sales technology, and this is something that most lawyers don't want to talk about, but it's something that we're going to have to because we're becoming so competitive. They're churning out lawyers like crazy. Many new lawyers don't have jobs. So it's becoming very difficult and very competitive, especially in the criminal defense market, to get retained clients. And so if you have a website, I advocate having integrated contact forms into your website, meaning that it's not enough just to have a website anymore. The websites that we build, it's not enough to have a basic website. We have integrated contact forms that are in all of our websites where all the contact information goes immediately to your cell phone, to your email, stored in other places where you can immediately get notification of a new client lead. Because as I've said to others of you who have heard my presentation, and I know this to be true, if I get a lead from my websites, and I have 8 or 9 of them, okay, and I do not get back to that person within 5 minutes, they're gone. They're with somebody else. So 5, 10 minutes, if I don't get to them with that lead, I've had rare occasions where they just found me and nobody else for some reason, or they liked my information on my website and they waited for me to call them, but very rarely does that happen, because they're just going down the Google checklist and they're going attorney, attorney, attorney. And some of these are 2, 3 in the morning, so I'll be calling clients at 2, 3 in the morning if I get a website lead. Unfortunately, that's where we've come. I talk about smartphone and lead response. I encourage everybody to have a website with some sort of lead capture system where you're checking constantly your cell phone, your Android, whatever iPad that you use, so that you can maintain those leads. Because otherwise, why are you spending all the money on your website or your internet marketing if you can't convert those leads? I'm big on, I was talking to another attorney, and when we build websites, we are huge on developing information centers versus all about me, 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 me. Okay, everybody wants to build a website because we're lawyers, we have big egos, I understand it, it is what it is, but clients, that's not what they're looking for. They're scared, they have somebody at their house, they've been arrested, or they have family members being accused of criminal sexual conduct. I mean, we all know the circle, they're looking for information, information, information. So the more information that you can put on your website, because you all have it, you have that information to give them. So put it on your website, give them more information that makes you an expert in the field, and it'll make them want to call you for that free consultation. So blogging is huge. I've done this before, and this is not a website technology, but I've told other people before that we have one client, he's ranking ridiculously for the term Michigan tax law, because he has written 15 to 20 blogs that are each about probably 2,000 words. He's a tax law expert, but he actually took the time to put those into a blog and to have them indexed by the search engines. The other thing, which I'll talk about at the end, is to automate your sales process. Is a program such as the one that we developed called Auto Retainer will automate that sales process. And I'll show you that after my slide is done. CRM simply talks about customer relationship management. And nobody wants to talk about it because, again, it was highly relegated to big law. They have people who do this in terms of CRM. Criminal defense attorneys need to be doing this. We need to be following up on leads. It's not enough to just talk to them on the phone once and then never talk to them again, or touch them with an email, or say, hey, how's the case going? I can't tell you how many times I've said, hey, this attorney, I'm just concerned about you, just following up. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah, let me get you the money. I mean, that happens all the time. It's amazing. You wouldn't think that happens, but it does. They're human beings. They don't want to make that big purchase about hiring an attorney. So we need to remind them why it's valuable for them to hire an attorney and what services that we can provide to them. Virtual 800 numbers are huge. Because what happens is I have an 800 number on my website. Anytime I have a program to show up as website 800 number on my iPhone, so that anybody who comes from my websites, I see that it is website 800 number. I drop all else, and I'm like, Terry McGill, I'll drop all the calls if I'm in something. I know that that is something that I need to answer that phone, not let it go to voicemail, because a lot of us screen our calls. I know this to be true because I do it. But that's one that you don't want to screen. Because if you leave it to a message, especially the younger kids, the college kids who have parents who will pay money to represent their kids, they won't leave a message. They'll go on to the next lawyer. I guarantee it. And I take it one step further. I use a program called Ring Central. And I see it. I can tell you, I can document it, that I have an app on my phone with Ring Central that shows me all my missed calls. And if I can't get it, I'm in court or otherwise, and somebody calls my website 800 number, I will actually track down their number on Ring Central and call them back and say, hey, I saw you call my phone. Oh, yeah, I need some help. And I close that case. No voicemail, no nothing. Would have been left to somebody else to represent. Again, text messaging and email, it's not just for convenience. It gives that client that security that they know their lawyer is on it. That you are on their case. If a client sends me a text message, I am back with that within 2 minutes. Like, oh my gosh, you're there? I'm like, yeah, I'm here, I'm your lawyer. Paid me a boatload of money, I'm here. Okay, I am on this. Okay, so that's why in 16 years, the only complaint that I have ever had with the Grievance Commission was a life offense, criminal sexual conduct case, and the guy did not speak English. Okay, I had a very tough time communicating with him, but I have not had any other grievances at all. Because we all know the #1 form of grievance is lack of communication, that's over and over again. I over-communicate with my clients. So, you calling me again? Really? I'm like, yes, I'm calling you again. What's going on? Are you clean? Are you doing your drug testing? Are you gonna test clean? What's good? Did you do this that I asked you to do? This, text message. Clients love it. Even my adult clients, they love the access to me on text message. My family hates it, but my clients love it. Again, I already talked about cell phone response time. I wanted to show you very quickly, and then I'll open it up to questions. I wanted to show you a system that I developed, and I'll give you the brief history of it. My business partner, James, here actually lives in Orlando. He flew up here. We had some other business that we had to do, and about 5 years ago, I was doing MIP practice, and that's pretty much all I do. I handle MIP cases all over the state. And I was getting such a high volume of kids where I would close them on the phone, and they'd say, okay, what's next? I want to pay you. I'd be like, all right, and I'd be in a coffee shop, or I'd be on the beach, or whatever. I'm like, and I remember one specific time I was in Daytona Beach with the family. I was at a Starbucks. I didn't have my laptop. I had no way to close them right there, and I lost that client. And I told James, I said, James, I got to develop something. I don't want to lose any more clients. I got a kid, 5.5-year-old, who's huge. I got to feed him. And he said, well, let me see if I can develop a system. He developed a system where, and we used 2 different programs at the time. We kind of mushed them together, and he created a form where I could fill out the person's name, email, how much I'm charging, and it would do what's called API into FreshBooks, and it would also send them an autoresponder, okay, that we kind of cobbled together with my fee agreement. So if the client said, hey, I want to hire, I'd be like, all right, fill out the form. I can do it from my iPhone, my iPad, anywhere. It would shoot them a fully executed fee agreement in an autoresponder, and it would send them an invoice through FreshBooks because it API'd into that form. And I closed so many cases using AutoRetainer. So about a year ago, we decided, well, this is working well for me. I'm closing all my cases on using AutoRetainer. Why don't we develop a web application that does this for criminal defense attorneys? Have a programmer, Rob, who's here with me today, and we developed AutoRetainer, which is a fully automated website where you can send a fee agreement and an invoice literally in 30 seconds. And this is a live demo. This is something that's actually live on the internet right now, and I'm going to show you how fast it is. The client says, and this happened yesterday. He was with me. Client goes, hey, yes, sir.
For the demonstration, could they cut the lights here?
Sure. Is there a light switch there?
Right behind Dave,
flag.
behind you there?
Yeah, it'll take, yeah, okay, good. So client calls me yesterday. I was with James. We were working on something else. Got an MIP, went through my sales spiel. He says, well, yeah, that sounds good. I want to go with you. How do I go? No problem. I'll send you an AutoRetainer. It's new technology that I use. It'll be in your inbox in 5 minutes. So I went to, I had my laptop open. So I already have a contract that is already loaded in here. So that's part of the process that has to be done, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But I simply I create general district court agreement. I choose myself as a client. I'll choose $1 as the invoice amount. Normally it's obviously a lot more than that. I'm going to put in MIP, and I'm going to put Wayne County. I'm going to hit Create AutoRetainer. It gives me a preview screen, and you can see here that it's filled out all the information with my criminal retainer agreement. And I can actually make changes if I've made a mistake or if I want to add something after I've already done that. I hit send. And in about 2 seconds, I have now sent everything to the client, and that took me maybe 10 seconds.
Where did you send it? Their phone or their email?
I sent it to their email address because I did get their email from them, and what most kids do is they text me their email and their phone name. So especially if I'm in the car, I said, just text me your email and I'll send everything to you. Oh yeah, no problem. Text me everything. Then I don't have to write anything down. Now the key to this program is, here's my inbox of what the client will see. View your AutoRetainer. It pops up a fully executed agreement for them to sign. You can scroll down. It has my law firm information. I agree to the terms. My type is Willie. I'm going to confirm it. Now it says make a payment, and they paid with PayPal. Done. In my bank account in 5 minutes. So that's the kind type of automation that is coming our way, and I think it's going to be happening more and more. You can go ahead and get the loudspeaker. So that's the kind of automation that we're going to be seeing. And if you've ever gone to the ABA Tech Show, we're not the only ones that do it. We're certainly not unique, but it's going to be happening more and more and more. And you are going to be able to do things with technology. And the nice part about it too is it's not just a cool tool that I'm using. What it is a client trust device. My clients love this, okay, because it's instant. Because when I tell them, I'll have a fee agreement invoice to you in 5 minutes, they're like, yeah, right. You're going to have your secretary or whoever go into your Word and do a fee agreement. You're going to maybe mail it to me or email it to me. I might print it out. I might fax it. Otherwise, and then I'll have to come in. I'll have to pay for it. It's all gone. It's done. This is a trust device, and they know you're their lawyer, and then I can immediately file my appearance within 15 minutes of getting retained. So that's the basic gist of something like auto retainer, and what we're doing for all Wayne County members, not only today, but going on into the next month, 2 months, because we simply just launched today this product. I'm going to do a free setup for anybody in Wayne County. That's usually $99, so that means I would set up all of your fee agreements, put them into the system, and give you a free 30-day trial of this for any Wayne County Criminal Defense Bar member. And I've got flyers on that you can sign up, or I've got people going around with we have 2 iPads where you can actually sign up, give us your name, email, and that's all you have to do, hit sign up, and you will be eligible for the free 30-day trial and free setup. Okay? Now, I've said a lot in a fast amount of time. I'm sure there are questions. Yes?
I just have one other thing.
Sure, please.
We need an election committee. Neil Lighthouser usually serves as chair because he's a disinterested person. 2 people more for election committee. Do I see volunteers?
What's the election?
Sharon? Okay. They just make sure we don't get ballot stuff.
Yes.
Does your PayPal payment go automatically into your IOLTA account?
No, it goes into PayPal, and then I have it transferred into IOLTA if that's what I'm doing. Yep. But there are ways to do that. And there's also, I'm using PayPal, there's also ways to, if you have a merchant account or something like authorized.net, you can have that designed to go specifically into a bank account such as IOLTA. That's a good question.
Tell us about
Yes, sir.
I have to leave.
Yep.
Are you leaving information with the bar so that I can access this information later online?
Absolutely. All the stuff that's on my slides, I'm going to make available to you. Okay? And the other thing that you might not have heard when I started is, if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. My information is on here, or you can get it through any of the bar members, and I'll feel free to talk to you about it. Yes, sir.
The 31st day it becomes what?
I'm sorry?
The 31st day it becomes what?
Oh, well, yeah, then you have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, how much?
When you see my son, he's like this tall at 6, so yeah, I gotta at least feed him.
It doesn't say on the website.
20. I know after that it's gonna be $20 a month for up to 25 clients, and then $40 for unlimited clients. So it's pretty reasonable and within the terms of most web-based applications.
Do you have plans to add debit or credit card payments in addition to PayPal? Because a lot of people will.
You already can, and you can do it with PayPal. So
You can do it within PayPal.
Absolutely.
All right.
It says don't have a PayPal account, pay with credit card. So all my clients pay with a credit card or debit card, even using PayPal.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yes. And then, before I go, I know some people have to leave. I wanted to make sure that everybody was in the drawing for the free tablet. If you hadn't, there's 50-50 tickets there, and the one half needs to get in here because I'm going to be having Susan Reed draw it. Oh, you have a ticket? You can't draw it. Now I'll have my associate draw it.
Susan, Shelley's here.
Shelley's here? All right. Where do you put them? Just grab a 50-50 and then put the other half in here, please. And also, there's an iPad going around to sign up for that free trial. Thank you, sir. Yep, just one.
Okay, register. Okay, yeah. That's fine.
Where's my iPad or my tablet? sorry?
Just want to give you my card.
You're actually interested in this?
Somewhat.
You know, every time you make a text message, that's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Disappearing and everything else.
Sure. Okay.
Just doing a trial in front of a bench trial, sort of. Go sign up.
Right there, right there.
Prosecutor to see if they have a case brings in next week. Talk about
Right here. Just take one.
examining the child.
Now I have your card.